It really is awesome. First of all, I just want to thank Dr. Neely and 5 minutes meeting her. I love her. She's awesome. You guys got a great leader right here in this university. I'm telling you. And what it starts at the top. I have learned that in a long time. If you have to have great leadership at the top, all the way down through to our football team and to all our other athletes here and other sports at this great university, which I've grown to love, the success that all the other sports have had. I can't wait to meet these other coaches, share ideas, get with them and see what's made them successful here. And that's what we want for our football program. And really it starts for me, it starts right here with this crew right here. These guys mentioned them, but my wife of 22 years, my 3 kids, great supporters of me just over the time that I've been coaching. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my mom and dad, who's back in Hillsborough, Orange County, North Carolina, which is right there in ACC country, with some teams that we're going to have on our schedule that we'll be loving to meet one day, very, very future. And then I need to thank the school that I just left, Appalachian State University, where I spent 23 years as a player, assistant coach, head coach, and had great success there. Our players, to them, thank them. They're unbelievable. We talk about culture. They have it. I mean, that culture is incredible. Those guys, we made it to the New Orleans Bowl this year, so they're going to be going to play the New Orleans Bowl in a week and a half. They'll have no problem in that game. Because of the culture and what they stand for, and that's what we're going to build here. And to the fans back at App State who have been unbelievable to me, I appreciate their support and everything they did for me over the years. Incredible. I was a walk-on football player in 1991. I remember August 3rd, 1991, driving up the mountain in Boone, North Carolina. They didn't even know my name, the coaching staff did. And and you just continue to work and build, and it's what dreams are made of. You earn a scholarship, then you're starting, and then my senior year we go undefeated, 11-0 in the regular season, incredible. Then I had an opportunity to go back and coach in 1998. Beth and I were married 2 years, and they said, well, we want you to come coach wide receivers, but we got $7,000 to pay you. And I was like, a month? And they were like, that's the year. So $7,000. We have a mountain there at Appalachian State. It's Appalachian Ski Mountain. So I had to make snow in the wintertime. I couldn't even go recruiting. I had to make ends meet. They said, we'll give you 2 years with this deal right here. Otherwise, we're getting out of the coaching profession. Fortunately, I got full-time the next year. Continued to work my way up, and then became the head coach at App State, 6 great years there. And now here I am. It's what dreams are made of for me. And this is incredible. And it proves the point that if you work your tail off and have a great attitude every single day, that your dreams can be met and they will come true. Because I'm living that dream right now at University of Louisville. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm extremely honored to be the head coach here. And Vince, there was other schools out there. This is the job I wanted. I wanted to be here because of the success that this program has had. And incredible success over the years. Heisman Trophy winners, NFL players that have moved on and they're doing great things. There's one for the Ravens right now that's taking that start role. He's dominating right now. It's fun to watch him play. Those are the kind of players we want to get in here. Man, I love meeting the team today. It's for the first time I got to meet that team. I'm so excited. I hate that they're going home right now for Christmas break. We're ready to get to work with these guys. And I told them, man, we're going to love on them. We want to love on these guys. We're going to put our arm around them, and we're going to just pull them up and bring them to winning football games and championships. But it starts with our culture. So that's what we're going to work on. The very first thing I told them was that, guys, you got to trust me, and I got to trust you. And that's the way our program's going to work. There's a couple of core values that we have. Number one is project positive energy. In this world we're living in, there's so much negativity out there, it drives you crazy. I mean, everybody's doubting you, everybody's downing you. That fuels me, and it's going to fuel our football team. And we're going to pump each other up. We're going to hit them on the butt. We're going to say, let's go. When they're having a bad day, we're going to just put that positive energy in there, and it's just going to spread like wildfire within our culture in our locker room. The other thing that we're going to have is trust and respect. that we've talked about already, and that's going to go from coach to player. The other thing that we talk about is the other 10. There's 11 guys on the football field, but I'm playing for the other 10. I'm not thinking about me, I'm thinking about the other 10. When you do that, we'll have a tremendous amount of success. We had 19 guys out of our starting offensive, defensive players last year make all conference, get recognized. 20, we had 20 guys. It's incredible, because they're playing for each other, they love each other. That's what we're going to create here, so these guys will get big time recognition when they start loving each other, caring for each other, playing for each other. You know, the other things that we're going to have here, the last core value is have fun. I want our guys to be able to come to that office all the time. I want them to be there. I want them to come in there. The same with our coaching staff. We're going to put together an outstanding coaching staff that will just be there every day. I mean, because we want to be there. It's not one of these deals where I've seen throughout the country where coaches, you know, go flip the light on when they can go home. Our guys are going to want to be there. And because they love it that much. Our players are going to want to be there. It's going to be that kind of culture where they can't wait to get back there because we're going to put some more work in. And we're going to do it day by day. We're going to stay in the moment. We're not thinking about, you know, next month. We're not thinking about next year, any of that kind of stuff. We're going to stay in the moment and do the best job we can do. I think when you stay in the moment and you do that, you take it day by day, it'll be the best you can be the day. When you look back on it, you're going to be breaking records. You're going to be winning a lot of football games. So those are the kind of things that we're going to put together with this program. Also, I want to get involved with this community. I want our community to get involved with us, the high school coaches, the region right here in Louisville. You know, come watch our practices. Come, our doors are open. All right, the closed doors no longer. We're going to open it up. We have nothing to hide. We have nothing to hide. I want to feed off of them. They can feed off of us. We're going to do this thing together. It's not going to be about me. It's not going to be about our coaches, our players. It's going to be about all of us, the fans, the players, the alumni. Everybody's got to be involved with this. That's how you win. When everybody's involved, that's how you win. It's not one person. It's everybody. You know, I'm just happy to be a face of a program because I'll be the head coach, but I don't want to be like that. It's not I. You're going to hear me say we a lot. Because it's we. It's all of us. It's all of us together. Cardinal Nation. That's how we're going to get this thing back on top. That's what we got to do. Okay? So we're, you know, here in the next few days, we'll put together a staff, an outstanding staff, to be able to get these recruits in here, the kind of players that we'll all be proud of. The student athletes, they're out there. They're out there. You know, sometimes it's real easy to go get a player, you know, marginal academics, but he's a great player. But there's also guys that have great GPAs, that care about the academics, that are also great players. And those guys tend to do great things on the football field. You know, you don't have the penalties that you don't necessarily need. You don't have those turnovers and those things that make mistakes. That's how you lose football games. So we're going to recruit the right kind of student athlete here to build this program up. So excited to do that. Man, I'm humbled, man. This is awesome. I'm so fired up about being here. I can't wait to get started. My family as well. They'll be headed back to Boone, I think. And I'm staying here. We're getting the groundwork. We're going to start rolling. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. This is an awesome crowd right here. Really appreciate it.
Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Remember to turn the microphone on and off after you're done with it. Thank you.
Coach, how tough a sell was it for the family? Was this something that, you know, a move that you thought might come at the end of this season? And for you know, I saw Bryce more than 6 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago.
We got some pretty good athletes here. Well, I think transition is always tough. You know, no matter what it is. And you know, it's been tough for our players here. You know, they've had a lot of transition. You know, if we can create the continuity, I think that's what we want. I've done that in my career. You know, again, if you've been in one place for that long, that's continuity. And so that's what I want to do here. I want to create that same kind of environment, that same continuity. We want to have a coaching staff that wants to be here, that want to be here for a long time. And so, yeah, anytime you change, it's tough. It's hard. It's particularly hard on Mama right here. You know, she's got to do a lot of stuff. When I'm here coaching and all that, I got a lot of stuff going on. It's hard on these guys, but very supportive. You know, we've had a lot of success over the last 4 years, and there's been opportunities, and you know, this is the right one. And so, you know, we've talked about it as a family over the years, and it just so happens that this is the right one. The doors have opened up, and we're here.
Fred Callier.
Turn it on.
Turn it on. Sorry.
Hi, Coach. Fred Callier with the CBS affiliate here in Louisville. Why this one? I mean, you say this was the right one because I mean you've been so invested where you've been.
That's right.
They must have taken something over the top to swing you here.
Well, I think with the leadership that we have on the university, that's number one. And I think you want somebody to believe in you, and he did. He's believing in me. I think that's huge. And that's all I needed was an opportunity, a chance back in 1991 to walk on a football team to prove what I have. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm ready to go prove the kind of staff we can put together, the kind of team we're going to put on that field that everybody's going to be proud of. I think the footprint of where it's located, what we're going to have to recruit in the Southeast, that's what we're familiar with, as opposed to going out west or Midwest or up north. I mean, this fits the footprint of what I'm very familiar with. I grew up in ACC country. I'm familiar with all the teams. I've visited a lot of the teams in the Carolinas over the years, just trying to learn more. So I'm very familiar with it. I just think all those reasons, and I think this university is poised to buzz through some great things I think are going to be happening right here in this university. I think the things that we have in this stadium, the support we have, man, the ceiling is very, very high here, and I think we're going to get there.
How do you, Scott, prioritize your next few days?
Yeah.
What is first and I guess staff?
Well, it's been a whirlwind, to say the least. This time yesterday I was in New York City. Got on a plane last night, 9:55, got back to bed at 2:30 in the morning, got with my team this morning at 7:30, and then now I'm up here today. So it's been not any sleep, quite honestly, zero sleep. So the next few days we'll be working on staff, we'll be talking about that, trying to get the right guys in here. We recognize where signing date is coming up here in a couple of weeks, so we want to do that. And then we'll slowly build this staff out over the next few weeks. And I think for me, probably tomorrow, this evening tomorrow, we'll be getting with, just talking recruiting, looking at rosters and all that, seeing exactly what the needs are, and then we'll get on the road, start recruiting.
How do you manage, because they do have a bowl game, if you bring guys, have you talked to Vince about that, about managing,
Yeah.
if you want to bring a staff member with you?
Yeah. I think there's a couple of guys we'll probably bring immediately. And then, the rest of the staff will stay back and coach the game, and then we'll see where we're at after that and start building our staff out. The good thing about that is they play in a week and a half, so it's not like it's, a month from now. Then there's some other guys throughout the country that we'll be targeting, and, we'll see where that leads here in the next few days.
After the game on Saturday, you said it's all about routine. You would say a day in March, a day in June, we're going to do. Do you come in with that schedule, or does it depend on you?
Well, I think initially, the first year, I think because the calendar is a little different here, the way they have their school and the way they get out of school. But yeah, we want to get that. We want to get to where throughout the year, this is what we're doing. I think when you have routine, everybody loves routine. Our players love it. They know what to expect. Here's what we're going to do. And then that's what we got to in the last 4 years of that, was that routine. And the guys really bought into that. We want to get there. I've got to look at the calendar, figure all that out. But yeah, we will definitely get to that routine, and the guys will feed off of that.
Coach, having spent over half your life at Appalachian State, I know you said you're looking forward, you're eager to get started here, but just how emotional was it to have that discussion with school officials and let them know that you were going?
It's very emotional for me because I know everybody. I'm like one of the older tenured guys there. Our chancellor was there. I think she's been there the last 2 to 3 years. Our AD's been there 3 years. A lot of our board members, the board of trustee members, I know a lot of those people that had been there for years. And you're really just kind of ingrained with those guys, and you've been there through everything. So it's very emotional. I love those guys. They're awesome. They gave me a chance. They gave me an opportunity. Forever indebted to that. And but this is a great opportunity. It's an unbelievable opportunity to be able to come and coach at this kind of a university to compete for championships. I can't turn that down at this point in my career. This is what we've been shooting for. For 6 years of that, we've won 40 games in the last 4 years, and three straight conference championships. We've won 3 straight bowls. It'll be 4 bowls here in a week and a half. So what else can you accomplish there? I think maybe what comes into play. The only thing we didn't do was go to a New 6 bowl. And I think that's that's going to be very close. But I want to compete for national championships one day, and that's what we're going to be gunning for. And it starts with competing in the ACC, but it's going to start with us getting our staff together and our players headed in the right direction this all season. That's why I'm excited for that the most.
Hey, Coach, Dominique Gates with the Courier Journal here in Louisville. What is your message to the fans? You mentioned getting out in the community, but what's your message to the fans just to reassure them that you are the right guy to coach this team?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you go back and look at the track record of what we've been able to accomplish. I mean, it's not like I haven't been a head coach, you know, and it's not like I hadn't faced adversity. You know, we talked about, you know, we started out 4-8. We're in the Southern Conference. We're not playing for anything. That was extremely difficult. The next year, we're working on our culture at that point. The next year, we're starting out at 1-5. So me as a head coach, I'm 5-12, and I remember the story going to Troy. Some of you may have heard it. Beth went with me down to Troy. We're 1-5, and I said we want to take a walk down to the river. And I said, you know what? This head coaching thing's okay. We're 5-12. We may not be around here any much longer. Let's kind of enjoy this, you know. We went out that next day and we beat Troy. Dominated the game, won our last 6 games. So our very first year in the Sun Belt as an FBS program, we go 7-5. We turned it around. And then the rest has been history after that. I mean, we've killed it. You know, I think there's 4 other programs that's better record than us in the last 4 years. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, then Appalachian State. So that's pretty good company. And I think I mean, we're going to do it here. I mean, there's no question about it. And you got to believe. And that's been a big slogan of our program, and it's a daily process. We're going to get it done.
Scott, how much, when you were deciding if this was the right fit, the right job for you, did you analyze the current state of the program and how much work needs to be done?
Yeah, we recognize the fact that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Usually, if you're going to look for a new head coach, there's probably some work to be done, and you know, so I do recognize that. But I also recognize the potential, and I think the potential outweighed the work that needed to be done. I think we have a great opportunity here. We got some hungry young men in that locker room right now. I mean, hungry, starving for discipline, starving for success. And like I told them today, they're going to have to trust. It's going to come down to that. You know, we're going to have to trust each other. And they're hungry for that, and I can't wait to get them back here.
I guess, Coach, as a follow-up, that was my question. As a follow-up, how much did you see Louisville this past season? And then what are maybe a couple things that stuck out to you that you need to address immediately with this team?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it starts with discipline. I think that's the first thing, and culture. That's the reason why we had success there. That before any of the wins, we worked on culture. That's what you have to work on. You have to get all that stuff straight first before you can start winning football games. That's what this all season is going to be about. This summer is going to be about. You know, when you get that stuff straight, then the wins will start coming. I didn't watch many games last year, obviously. Trying to win some games last year, and but I did glance at scores, you know, and I saw scores that were extremely high, given up, and you know, so there's a lot of work to be done, obviously, offensively, defensively, kicking game. The thing I was most proud about our football team this past year, that was that we're solid in all 3 phases. If you go back and look, special teams, our block kicks, kick returns, and then defense, one of the best defenses in the country. And then obviously offense, we're solid in offense too, with a first-year starting quarterback, you know, with a very young football team. I think there's 19 starters coming back on that team next year. It's going to win probably 11 games this year. So, but that's the culture that we have. That's what we're creating here. And again, we can't wait to get started with that.
Tim?
Two-part question. One, are there players you're recruiting at Appalachian State who might end up here, and do you have to recruit a different kind of athlete here?
Yeah, well, I think there's players that last year, in the beginning of this year's process of recruiting, there were several players that we were in on early there. We had them on campus. We were in good with them, but then they started getting Power 5 offers. And so we still got great relationships with some of those players. So in the early process of recruiting, yes, we're going to tap back into some of those players that we feel like can come here and help compete for a championship. And then there's other players that are out there that we're going to tap into, that we have relationships with, that are looking forward to come visiting here within the next 2 weeks.
You mentioned Lamar Jackson. What did you know about Louisville? Were you on the FIU staff that came in here?
I was. Yeah, I was
T.Y.
offensive coordinator those 2 years.
So did that make an impact on you when you were going through this process?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, certainly. That's really the only time I've been here. And we had a great day that day. I mean, it wasn't good for Louisville, but it was good for us. But T.Y. Hilton was unbelievable. And we just got him the ball and let him work. And We ended up coming out with a big victory. That was a big win for us at the time at FIU. But while we're here, I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, I just looking around the stadium and being in the environment, it was a great environment. Everything that I've heard ever has been positive about this university. Everything. And so you start hearing a lot of that. It just kind of gets inside of you. You really believe in it. And so I think this place is destined to be great. I really do.
Coach, you mentioned the we when it comes to this program. How big is patience going to be as you try to get things going and compete for these championships?
Is that for me?
Also,
well, you have to have a sense of urgency, and you have to be patient. We do. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, we all know that. It's not. You can't change a culture overnight. Usually, changing cultures take a year and a half to change that. We're going to work extremely hard on a daily basis to make that happen. And then what we're going to bring in here are going to be, culture changers as well. And so we definitely going to have to have a little bit of patience. It's not going to happen, overnight, but it will happen. And I'm very confident in that. Our coaching staff that we bring in will do that as well. It's going to be about the process that we have to go through. And obviously, we all want it to happen very quickly. They're in this room. We know that. The sooner the better, I think. But who knows how long it will take, but it'll happen.
Two questions. The first one actually might be more for Vince,
Okay.
but will you retain any of the staff members who were before? And then when looking for a defensive staff, Scott, what is your main qualities there?
I'll take the first part of that, Jody. We've gone through, when Scott and I have discussed, we've gone through all the staff. We've talked about who's here, what roles they've had, whether they're a QC or a GA or actually on the staff, and talk about that. I've told the coaching staff, I met with all of them today as well, the same people I just mentioned, and said that there's no guarantees. But Scott and I did talk about, let's get through recruiting in the morning, meet with Pete Knock to go through all that, and then the following day we'd probably get into talking about more of the staff positions and dealing with that with the coaches and whether there's slots there and whether they fit his needs for the type of program, offense, defense they run. So, that's no guarantees yet.
And then defensively, what are you looking for?
Yeah, we're going to try to run the same defense that we've been running. I don't know if you guys know, but Woody got hired at Georgia Tech 2 years ago. I hired Brian Brown last year and really kept our staff. Our staff had opportunities on the defensive side of the ball to go places, Power 5 places, decided to stay and put together a top 10 defense in the country. And so we're going to run that style of defense. We'll see about the names. Again, it'll probably happen here in the next couple of days, and then fill our staff out over the next week or two. But defensively, what we do is a unique defense. It's an aggressive defense. It creates turnovers. It does not give up big plays. We're going to run and hit and stay on top, match the numbers, and chase the football. I mean, that's what we're going to do.